If airport security pulls your bag aside, there's one item that gets taken more than anything else: medication. Not because people are doing something illegal, but because they packed it wrong. Every single day, travelers walk into airports confident they've done everything right and walk out of security stressed, delayed, or missing something important. And in 2026, security is stricter, faster, and far less forgiving than it used to be. This isn't about luck anymore. It's about how prepared you are before your bag even touches the scanner. Today, I'm going to show you exactly where travelers go wrong with medication, and more importantly, how experienced flyers avoid every single one of these mistakes. Because once you understand how this works, airport security stops feeling unpredictable and starts feeling easy. And it begins with the mistake that catches people immediately. The biggest issue isn't what you're bringing, it's how you think about it. Most people treat medication like any other item. They throw it into their bag, zip it up, and assume that's enough. But the moment your bag enters that scanner, everything is judged differently. Security isn't thinking about your needs. They're thinking about clarity. If something doesn't make sense at first glance, they slow everything down. And before you even start packing, there's one simple question that changes everything. Are you carrying prescription medication or something over the counter? That one detail determines how your items are handled. Ignore it, and you increase your chances of being stopped, questioned, or delayed. Now here's where things get even more serious: international travel. A medication that is completely normal in your home country could be restricted somewhere else, even common items. That's why experienced travelers never assume. They check the rules for their destination before they pack anything. Because what gets through departure smoothly can still cause problems when you land. And there's one rule that experienced travelers never break. Essential medication never goes into checked luggage. Checked bags get delayed. They get rerouted. Sometimes they don't arrive at all. And when that happens, your medication is gone with it. That's why everything important stays in your personal item, not in the overhead bin, not in a suitcase, right under the seat where you can reach it instantly. Because if something goes wrong, it happens fast. Now let's talk about where most people feel confident and still get stopped. Prescription medication. A lot of travelers believe that having a prescription protects them. But that's not how security sees it. They're not evaluating your intentions. They're evaluating what they can verify in seconds. Pills themselves are usually not the issue. But the moment you're traveling internationally, the expectations change. Now, it's not just about airport security. It's about the country you're entering. And they don't rely on explanations. They rely on clear proof. That means one thing matters more than anything else: the label. It must be attached to the container, not stored somewhere else, not saved digitally, not explained verbally, on the bottle. If it's missing, you've created uncertainty, and uncertainty leads to delays, even if everything you're carrying is completely legal. Now here's something most people don't expect. Even when your medication is allowed, poor packing can still slow you down. If your items are scattered, security has to search for them. And searching takes time. Time leads to inspection. Inspection leads to stress. Experienced travelers eliminate that problem completely. Everything goes into one small pouch, one place. So when security asks, they don't dig. They simply take it out. Clear, simple, fast. That alone can prevent your bag from being opened. Now let's talk about quantity. Too much can look suspicious. Too little can leave you unprepared. The best approach is balanced. Pack what you need, plus a small extra amount in case your plans change. Nothing excessive. Nothing careless. Another detail people overlook is packaging. Pharmacies often provide more compact options. blister packs, flat containers, smaller bottles with labels. Same medication, but easier to carry and easier to verify. Now we move into one of the most misunderstood areas: liquid medication. This is where confusion causes the most delays. Here's what many people get wrong. They assume every liquid must follow the standard size limit. That's not entirely true. Medical liquids can exceed that limit, but only if they are handled correctly. They must be clearly labeled. They must be easy to identify. And most importantly, they must be separated. If they're mixed in with your normal liquids, you're creating confusion. And confusion slows everything down. The smarter approach is simple. Put medical liquids in their own small bag. When you reach security, take them out immediately. No searching, no explaining, no delays. This becomes even more important when traveling internationally, where procedures can vary. Here's something many travelers only learn the hard way. Medication has been removed before, not because it was illegal, but because it couldn't be verified quickly. Security works on proof, not explanations. So the rule is simple. Keep labels visible, keep everything together, separate liquids. Do that, and you stay in control. Now let's talk about where most people relax too early. Over-the-counter medication. It feels simple. No prescription, no paperwork, no problem. But that assumption is exactly what creates mistakes. Pills are usually flexible. You can carry them without much concern. But even here, small details matter. Bulky organizers take up space and make your bag look cluttered. Experienced travelers simplify. They pack only what they need. Small portions, compact containers, clean and organized. Now here's where things shift again. Liquids. This is where confusion returns. Not all liquids are treated the same. If something is for medical use, it doesn't follow the standard rules. But it still needs to be separated. If it's placed incorrectly, it can trigger a delay. The fix is simple. Keep medical liquids separate from everything else. Make them easy to remove. Make them easy to see. A simple way to think about it is this. Is it a liquid? And is it for medical use? If both answers are yes, it should be separated. Even small items matter. Eye drops, contact solution, anything with fluid inside. Organizing these properly makes the process smoother. Here's something important. Even if security doesn't ask you to remove something, the rule still exists. Technology may change the process, but not the requirements. Relying on luck might work once, but eventually you'll encounter a stricter check. The people who move through smoothly aren't guessing. They prepare in advance. Now let's talk about the moment that determines everything. It's not just about what's in your bag. It's about how you handle the situation. Most travelers stay quiet. They wait to be told what to do. But when it comes to medication, silence can slow things down. Experienced travelers take a different approach. They speak first. Something simple. I have medical items in my bag. Would you like me to remove them? Now everything is clear. You're not hiding anything. You're helping the process. Security officers expect this. They're trying to understand what they see. And when you make that easier, everything moves faster. Now let's address something that causes stress. Getting flagged. If your bag is pulled aside, it doesn't mean you've done something wrong. It just means something needs a closer look. What happens next depends on how you packed. If your items are buried, hidden, or hard to identify, the process slows down. They open your bag. They search. You lose time. Experienced travelers avoid this completely. They keep everything visible and accessible. That creates speed, and speed builds trust. Now let's talk about medical devices. If you're wearing something like a glucose monitor or pump, you don't remove it. Security is familiar with these. They may check it briefly, but it stays with you. Another factor people underestimate is behavior. If you rush or seem stressed, you draw attention. And attention leads to more checks. Calm travelers move differently. They take their time. They speak clearly. They stay composed. You're not racing through security. You're passing a controlled checkpoint. So remember this: be organized, communicate clearly, stay calm. That combination makes everything easier. Now we move into the part that can create real problems: legal risks. Let's start with something many people misunderstand: certain substances. Airport security may not be looking for them specifically, but if they find them, they are required to report it. At that point, it's no longer about airport rules. It's about local law. And those laws change depending on where you are. Something allowed at departure might not be allowed at arrival. The same applies to certain medications. Some are restricted or banned in other countries. That's why guessing is dangerous. The safest approach is always to check before you travel. There are official tools available that tell you what's allowed and where. Now let's talk about something essential for many travelers: diabetic supplies. Items like insulin are allowed, even in larger quantities, but they should be presented clearly. A simple statement helps: I have diabetic supplies with me. From there, the process becomes straightforward. You can also carry testing kits and related items. Everything is allowed when it's clear and organized. Now here's a mistake that causes unnecessary delays: trying to hide items. Placing medication inside shoes. Wrapping it in layers. This makes it harder for scanners to read. And when something isn't clear, it gets flagged. Your bag is pulled aside. Time is lost. There's also a small detail many people miss: ice packs. If they're for medical use, they don't need to be fully frozen. But for regular items, they do. If they're partially melted, they may not be allowed. Now we come to one of the most important points: identification. If your medication cannot be verified quickly, it can be removed, even if it's legitimate, because security relies on what they can confirm instantly, not what you explain. So the difference is simple: clear label, clear purpose, clear presentation. That's what keeps you moving. Now let's bring everything together, because knowing the rules is one thing. Applying them under pressure is another. At the airport, you're tired. You're distracted. You don't want to think. That's why experienced travelers rely on a system, not memory. A simple system that removes confusion before it starts. Everything goes in one place. All medication stays together, not scattered, not mixed. One pouch, one location. Second, separate what matters. Liquids are separate. Labels are visible. Essentials are easy to reach. Now your bag is predictable, and predictable bags move faster. Third, your medication stays with you, always. Not checked, not out of reach, with you. Fourth, prepare before you reach security. Know where everything is. Know what needs to come out. Don't wait to be told. Fifth, keep it simple. No overpacking, no hiding, no complexity. The easier your bag is to understand, the faster you move. Because security isn't just checking your items. They're deciding how much time to spend on you. If everything is clear, you move quickly. If anything is confusing, you get more attention. That's the difference. Most travelers walk into security hoping everything goes smoothly. But experienced travelers don't rely on hope. They rely on preparation. So next time you pack your medication, don't just think about what you're bringing. Think about how it will look to someone who needs to understand it in seconds. Because when your bag is clear, your experience becomes smooth. And when your experience is smooth, your trip starts the right way.